we're decked out and celebratory
Got our-
today.
our
We're
bouncy
gonna,
hat.
yeah, well. You can see the big word back here, fireworks. Yeah, that's what we're talking about today, fireworks. And you know what? It's kind of an interesting,
It is. It was kind of interesting.
something
I'm
on my
super
head.
glad that we
It's
don't
quite-
do it the way.
They used
back
to,
then.
yeah, exactly. So,
it'd be
the
kind of
very
a,
first
letdown
time,
for
yeah,
sure.
the very first time fireworks were used as a celebration for the 4th of July
Mhm.
was in 1777, the first anniversary
Right.
of our independence,
Right.
or the Declaration of Independence. But it was nothing like what we see today. And in fact, in those days, everything was just orange.
Orange, which
I know. Yeah, just like fire in the sky kind of thing.
I just
guess,
couldn't
you know?
find.
Color, and we're going to tell you even which colors mean this is
It's like
the best.
primo,
Yes.
pyrotechnic.
Yeah,
PH,
skill.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So the birth of fireworks was about 200 to 800 AD in China.
Mhm.
Okay, now this picture is has some I cannot
Kind of
tell if they're
celebration.
Chinese, if this is Chinese or India, because some things were happening all, yeah, around there. But see how they've got something in their hand and there's just some stuff.
Kinda
Okay,
like a shower coming
so
down.
what happened at first is in China, they tossed bamboo into fire and it popped really loud. It made like super loud sounds.
Yeah.
And so they kind of used
They played with
that.
that.
Yeah. They were trying to ward off evil
Right.
spirits.
It wasn't like a celebratory.
Right, yeah,
Necessary.
yeah, initially. And it was kind of by accident. They just like tossed the bamboo in. And then about 800 AD, an alchemist, which we would just call like a chemist today, but in those days they called it alchemy. And he mixed sulfur, charcoal, and potassium nitrate, which is a food preservative, hoping to find the secret to eternal life. The sorcerer's stone, basically, you
So
know.
let's try to blow ourselves up.
Right,
and
yeah.
Find eternal life.
I thought it was interesting that he used a food preservative to try to extend human life, but I don't know if that was his logic or not.
Preserving himself.
Yeah,
for the
anyway, but all those three things together basically created black powder or gunpowder.
future. Right. What we now know is.
Yeah. And I have a great gunpowder 4th of July story I'm going to share here in a little bit. But anyway, when they started packing that powder in bamboo or
The
in
stalks?
paper, yeah, or in
Tubes.
paper tubes.
Mhm.
And that's when they got
This.
things like this. So like the fire would, and the gunpowder, I guess, would just kind of blow out.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and these also made me think of sparklers
Yeah. Made me think of Roman candles.
and Roman candles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The tube and you're holding it.
yeah, exactly. So anyway,
But like we said, they had no color either.
right,
fine.
yeah, everything was orange and it was all accidental.
Yeah.
It was an accidental
like a little-
discovery. Yeah.
Kaboom.
And they say that initially it happened in Luoyang, China. And so the Chinese are credited with all of that initial discovery. So then 1200 to 1600 AD, the green men. And I love this part of the history of fireworks. I thought
Now,
this
he's
was
covered in
funny.
leaves.
Yeah, which is where he gets the name green. They get the name green men from. These are leaves on their head.
And we'll explain why.
Yeah. Okay, so naturally, gunpowder, the gunpowder that was discovered, the military thought,
Sure,
okay,
yeah.
so there's gotta be a
Right.
way for us to use this. And so then like the weaponry was kind of evolved. And they would use the gunpowder to make a blast that would shoot projectiles
Right.
at their enemies.
Right.
I mean, the basic design of the cannon or the musket,
Mhm. Right.
guns
Shooting
like
it and
that.
pulling-
Yeah.
pulling it up.
But off the battlefield, we still had these people who were, I guess, just playing with,
it.
with
Trying
these
to develop
things
that.
and trying to make more bigger and beautiful fireworks. And so then the people who were like missionaries and diplomats, people like that, traveled from Europe and Arabia to China, and they got their hands on this gunpowder and they saw what people could do with it, not just as weapons, but also in creating
Developing different
fireworks.
things.
Yeah. And they added their little skill set to it, and then they were able to bring fireworks to Europe.
Mhm.
And so this said, if you attended a fireworks show in 1600 AD, it wouldn't have been very different as far as the color and everything, but it would have been entertaining. So they used them for military victories, religious
Royal
events,
celebrations.
yeah, and everything. So they were run by the fire masters. And the underlings or minions, I
assistants.
guess, were called green men.
Uh-huh.
And they wore these leaves. I'm thinking they were probably green. That meant they were not
Or
dried out. Yeah.
And it helped to protect them from the flying, the sparks.
The
and
debris,
things
all the
falling.
thing that comes off of the fireworks. So that was just their little protective hat.
But then they did other
that they
things
were-
as well.
Yeah, and the leaves didn't really protect them from things like a malfunction in the fireworks.
Like
So
blowing back at them.
yeah, and so a lot of these guys were maimed, injured, or
Mhm.
even killed
Right. when
while
would
they
have
were
functions.
helping the fire master.
They would tell jokes to the crowd,
Oh, yeah.
and they would like prepare the crowd for the celebration that was about to take place.
Yeah, they were like the warm up.
Right. They were the opening act.
Yeah. And they
If
had
you could see them
people
through the green
begging
leaves.
for more.
That's right.
Begging for more. I wonder if all that hair and stuff and that, I wonder if that was like a mask and everything to make them look different or
Right.
funny
Yeah.
or
Like
something.
the theater part of it.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, the theatrics led to the fireworks. I don't know. And then fireworks made their way to Europe in the 13th and to the 15th century. Which I'm pretty sure,
Yeah, there we go.
and that is when everything really took off.
Right.
The Italians were the first to manufacture fireworks, and European rulers really liked to enchant their subjects and illuminate their castles,
Right.
which made me think of like Disney
I know,
World or
where they-
Disneyland,
yeah,
where
where
they
it's
have the
projected up on
giant
there.
fireworks at the castle.
Right.
But I loved these paintings of these firework displays. You know how, and
They all kind of have the same effect too. They have these like leaf
yes,
flower patterns at the end of their.
yeah, their
Tacks.
what's the word we use with the airplanes? The trajectory.
Yeah, the projection.
The trajectory of the blast, it
Mhm.
sends something up. You can see that
Right.
whenever you're watching a fireworks show. And then you have the explosion
Right.
that
These
creates
even have a little.
yeah, it has the little flutters and everything. So anyway, this obviously, I mean, this looks like Venice or something.
Yeah.
They're in this.
There's no green men here.
No.
They
The
have the
green
water.
men have faded into history
They
now.
cannot get anywhere
And
volunteers. for
this
that.
one, I did read something about a fireworks display in Paris where it was like the largest number of deaths that ever happened from a
Malfunction?
fireworks, thing. And I don't know if this
It's supposed to be that.
is
Like
an
a singing bowl.
homage to that or not, but
Yeah, that's kind of like the palace.
yeah,
singing
I
bowl.
mean, this is
Now that
a
you look at
really
it.
big thing happening here.
Yeah,
But I mean, it
that's the
could be.
who's who.
Yeah. it could be something completely different, but it is a very large celebration there in Paris.
Yes.
So 1600 to the present, whew, yeah. So 1600s, 1700s, people, the Europeans had been coming to America, and the new settlers, the Revolutionary War happens, the fight for independence, and which leads us to Independence Day celebrations. And I thought that this was this cute, the John Adams part. Me too. So John Adams wrote Abigail, his wife, a letter. And if you know anything about presidential history, she kept those letters, and we have access to almost all of his writings to her because people just kept stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
And it's such a great historical document. But he wrote her and said, "This day will be most memorable in the history of America. I am apt to believe that it will be celebrated by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival. It ought to be solemnized. People should be solemn about it with pomp and parade, bonfires and illuminations, and from one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward forevermore."
He had that permanent from here on out.
Yes.
He saw in the future people for their fourth
Yes.
celebrating in this homage that we still take part
Yes,
in.
I mean, I think that is so cool. He wrote that to her on July 2nd, 1776. And look at what we're still doing today. I just thought that that was such a great little historical tidbit.
Right.
And hats off to you, John Adams. Because even if you're not truly a prognosticator to where you can, really predict things like that, the fact that you planted that seed,
Right.
and that people thought, you know what, he's onto something, and we still do that today. Okay, so even though, 1600 present, in the 1830s is when people really started, things really kind of took off.
The modern, what you now
Right.
know as fireworks.
Yeah. This is the Brooklyn Bridge here in New York. And I mean, you can tell by
Goes out
these
in the
ships
harbor.
and stuff. Yeah, this is probably 1800s. I don't know if it would be after 1830 or not. We still see a lot of orange.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Still
there's
here.
orange.
So it kind of makes me think this was prior to the color.
Light bulbs.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Those look like
Hot
a
air
balloon
balloons.
thing that
Yeah.
goes up or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. I mean, we
But
didn't,
yeah, they're
the
still
people
orange.
didn't have cameras, so this is just an artist's
And you
interpretation.
can't really just sketch it out real
Yeah,
quick because
yeah.
they're there and then they're gone.
That's the thing that I thought was cool about that painting in the previous slide, with looks like the flowers on
Right.
the ends. That was an artist's interpretation of
What
this
he
is
saw.
what fireworks look like. But anyway, I mean, what a grand celebration. And you guys, I'm sure you have watched on TV the fireworks shows they do along the river in New York.
Major ones.
Yeah.
I mean, they just go on and it's like, every time you think, oh, that's the end, like you've been to those shows where they're all huge.
Yeah, and then they
big
do something
shows in
that's
the
like
sky,
the
and it's like,
finale.
All right, this is the finale.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps
And
going.
then there's something
This
else.
is the finale.
It is amazing. But then I know this is black and white. That this is the 1886 inauguration of Lady Liberty, so this is Ellis Island, New York Harbor, the Statue of Liberty, and a celebration of fireworks for her. And this is 1886. So we know just by the information that we found that these would have been multicolored.
At this time.
Yeah, so, and that, I mean, they're celebrating something besides Independence Day. And
And you now
that's,
know, I mean, we use fireworks now to celebrate other things besides just that
Like,
one time in the year.
at baseball
But everything,
games or OU football games. I know, I'm sure
Super
they do
Bowl,
other places.
football, I mean,
There
yeah,
are
sporting events.
things around the top of the stadium And those are just loaded and they just will
Yeah.
shoot fireworks off, you
Yeah.
know, at the end of the game or whatever.
Olympics.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, there are just so many other things. New Year's celebrations. So there's a, well, I will talk about the APA in a little bit, but Thunder over Louisville is Louisville. That's how they say it there, Louisville. Thunder over Louisville is one of the country's largest fireworks displays, and an economic study conducted by the Derby Festival determined that that event generates more than $56 million for the local economy.
Million.
People like to watch their fireworks.
They're in Louisville.
Yeah,
They like their fireworks.
That's right, exactly.
For sure.
Okay, so this next slide, there, I did not
This is
realize.
so cool.
Yeah,
I love this.
that there are so many different names, yeah. And so that means that every one of the,
The way that they're designed just fascinates me too. The way that they put them in and, I mean, how
Yeah.
they would predict the way it comes out.
yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
so the different colors we see here, the Italian inventors added metals like strontium and barium to the fireworks, and
Right.
that was in the 1830s where the multiple colors came from. They probably
Before then,
had
like we said, it was
other
all
things,
orange.
yeah, as well. But I mean, you guys probably are recognizing some of these, like the chrysanthemum. This is one
Oh, it's
very common. The coconut,
the crackle where they.
yeah. And so, like when you're watching your fireworks this year, you're gonna know the names of them.
I like this one too, that little.
Yeah, the snowflakes, a willow. This one is cool. The
Yeah,
way
it looks like a flower too, kind of.
Mhm.
This one I like.
I do
It's like
too.
a butterfly to me.
I don't know if I've ever seen this
I don't
one.
know if I
I've
have.
seen this too,
Yes, that one.
Penny.
The glitter.
The rings,
Yes,
Where-
the rings are good.
and
And
then
they come out.
yeah. And where are these jellyfish? Those look like the ones that are super loud, you know? And then they just.
These are the ones that are real pretty over the water.
Oh, yeah. So those are not probably aerials. I bet those dahlias are some that we've
Yeah, those are the
seen
ones that
before.
blacks.
Yeah. Oh, the crackle. That's the one right there.
Yeah.
It does look like a jellyfish, but it's that one, yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was very fun.
I mean, there's a whole
and-
list here. I mean, just the way that they.
And so every one of these is packed
Yes.
in a different specific way
Mm-hmm.
inside a tube. And I mean, I am fascinated by
I mean,
all
how
of
do you
it.
know, like, okay, this powder's gonna go out here and this, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure people have written it down. It's like a recipe or something,
Right.
probably,
A
you know,
dash.
people recorded.
quarter
Here's,
tablespoon.
yeah, here's a pinch of this. Called, let me get this right.
Class
They're
B.
not the consumer.
It's the display fireworks.
Yeah, display fireworks. These are called display fireworks. The ones that you,
They need
do-
pyrotechnicians.
yes, you have to have folks who know what they're doing for this.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, you definitely should. The ones you do it in your, driveway or out on the gravel road or whatever, some say
Those are
not in the
just-
grass.
Consumer fireworks.
Yeah, those are consumer fire. To raise money for something, a lot of times the smaller ones. So I want to encourage you, like if you go buy fireworks, go check out a small stand and see if it's not someone raising money for something. It's a good way,
Right.
win-win for everybody.
Well, and then back to the consumer and display, the consumer ones, you can only have, or any item containing more than 50 milligrams, which is about the
Yeah.
size of an aspirin tablet. is
half an
illegal.
aspirin.
Oh, half, I'm sorry, yes, half
Yeah.
of the aspirin.
Yeah,
It's illegal and it should be avoided. So anything over that, I guess, is considered the display.
yeah, and those are the ones. So
Imagine the
it
boom on some of
doesn't take
those.
much. Okay, I'm gonna share my gunpowder story.
Okay.
So, I worked with a fella who, well, one year we came back from the 4th of July and his face was really red. And I was like, what
Like
happened
sunburnt
to
red?
your face? Yeah. And he said, well, we ran out of fireworks and so we decided to get
That's
some
never a good way to
gunpowder.
start a story.
Yeah, and he lit the gunpowder and it just went,
Flashback.
yeah, right up and just like burned his skin.
So he had, it was little.
But that just goes to show you why you need to be sure that there's some,
Yes.
a professional is the one handling this kind of
Yes.
stuff.
So-
Don't go playing
You
with,
always have a
gunpowder.
sober adult in charge and never give them to children.
yes, exactly. Okay, so here's what's
That's
inside.
kind of how they load them.
Yeah, inside of the firework, okay? You've got the lifting charge,
The black
which is
powder.
your black powder, and the, oh, that's gonna be right there.
Mhm.
The internal fuse, which goes into the bursting charge. So that thing bursts and then gets all of these things going to all these things in here. There are stars and effects, extra burst. And then here's the fuse.
That you light.
Yeah, you
and
light
actually
it,
start
so
going.
it's a little bit long and it gives you a little time to get away.
For safe distance.
Yeah, because that, I mean, that is a very important thing to be able to
'Cause
clear.
If for some
out.
reason there is a malfunction, it's like it tips over, it's coming straight for you.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't blow all the way up like it's supposed to.
I
It blows,
think, I
you know,
think like they have like canister things with a very long
The tube.
thing that, and it has to be like 2 feet down in the ground so it doesn't fall over.
Tip like that.
Yeah, so it won't tip over.
Those big ones.
Yeah. One of my children caused a little fire one year
Who hasn't
by
started a-
lighting something.
hasn't
and,
started a little
yeah,
background
it tipped
blaze?
over the ditch across the street, like went up in flames. It was kind of dry. I mean, it's July. It's always kind of,
Yeah.
you
It's a hit
know,
and miss sometimes.
yeah. So, anyway, yeah, don't, okay, so, this thing said that the way you know if it's like the top
Right.
shelf, a top shelf
Firework.
firework is if it's let's see, deep blue or
White.
dazzling white.
Those
Those
are the, that's the two signs of a
Mhm.
good,
are really well
good
made.
quality firework.
I think those two colors must be the most difficult to
yes,
achieve.
Yes.
And so if you're watching and you
It's an
see,
it shows the marks of an expert pyrotechnician.
there you go. So be on the lookout for those things. The American Pyrotechnics Association is a group who probably checks and makes sure that standards are being adhered to and that the production is meeting all of the requirements
Right.
necessary.
It's not just all thrown together
Mhm.
haphazardly.
Yeah, I mean, I can see trying to cut corners, you know, to save some money.
Yeah.
People might put a fuse that's not as long as
Right,
it should
right.
be, or not pack the things.
As tight
quite-
as how it should.
Yeah, and so,
Use
they,
quality plastic tubing.
yeah, and then they also, put out all kinds of safety information for people. Just to,
Consumers alike.
yeah, just so that people can continue to enjoy these things. I know sometimes it seems like a policing kind of thing, but really, I mean, we're talking about something that could
People
seriously
could use
injure people.
Limbs, fingers. I mean,
Right.
I've heard horror stories of kids and adults alike losing, fingers
Yeah.
and things.
Yeah, we used to get those little things they called lady fingers. I don't even know if they sell those anymore. They were like a small black cat, but it was smaller. And we would like dare each other to hold them while they went on out. And pop bottle rockets, we used to do those pop bottle rockets a lot, but yeah, we don't anymore. So fireworks do not fly. Don't go buying fireworks and try to carry them with you somewhere. They are not allowed on an airplane. So when they're x-raying your luggage, whether it's carry-on or not, if they find any fireworks, they're gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even like to leave them in my vehicle when it's hot like this
Yeah.
because my luck, it gets so
Right,
hot in
it
there,
just-
it's sparking
yeah.
up.
And don't try to mail or ship them, you know, just keep them local. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
It'll be
Tell them
okay.
about it, they'll have them by their.
Video,
Right.
make a video of your
That's right.
fireworks, yeah. I have one of my children, not the one who starts fire, but another one, really likes the consumer fireworks. I mean, like goes and buys all this
Yes.
stuff and just loves lighting them and having all these things go off and everything. And so he's one of these consumers who I might need to email the list
The
of.
list of
Yeah,
what to do
here's
and
what
not to
you're
do.
not supposed to do. Okay, so these are banned fireworks.
Yep.
We have your basic cherry bomb over there. My
Cherry
dad
bomb.
told me about cherry bombs. I don't think I ever, ever had one. This is an M80. Now, I remember buying
I remember
M80s.
seeing those, but
Mhm.
yeah, I can't anymore.
They were super loud.
Yeah.
And that's
Almost
literally,
shake.
all three of these,
Mhm.
they're only loud. They don't, and this looks like a smoke bomb.
Right.
If it is a smoke bomb, it is going to be clearly
Marked.
identified. Yeah, it'll have a little,
Like smoke, toy.
yeah,
that type
toy
of-
smoke device.
Right.
And they are never red.
No, they will not make red ones.
When I was little.
Because of that fact.
Yeah, smoke bombs and the little snakes, you know, those little black tablets that
Snakes
you,
and sparklers?
yeah, that you light and then it
Oh,
like
yeah, they
makes
they
the
throw
little
up.
soot
Yeah.
thing, just kind of,
Mhm.
yeah, ashes, yeah, and sparklers.
Yeah, well, if you've seen Joe Dirt, snakes and sparklers, that's all you
There
need.
you- That's
you
it,
know.
that's it. And these are called silver salutes. So these are about,
It's like a bigger edition or bigger of the M80.
yeah, these are about 1.5 inches. These are a couple of inches long. And this is how serious these are. It says, if you find any, do not touch them. Immediately call the police or fire. And if you are aware of someone selling them, you are to contact the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
ATF.
Yeah, 1-888 ATF bomb. We're gonna put that information in the comments
You
section
can't say bomb on your phone.
of this. BOMB, ATF BOMB. We're gonna put that information in the comments. So if you ever see anyone that has any of these, you need to report it to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms immediately. We're gonna police those bad boys for sure.
Holy moly.
Okay, now be sparkler safe, guys, okay? And there are a few tips. Number one, only use sparklers outside.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
any parent
sparkling,
knows,
right.
yeah. Keep the kids outside. Adult supervision, it's if their kids are under 12.
Mhm.
Never light or hold more than one sparkler at a time. Mary and I talked about that. I'll be honest, that's a rule I break. I mean, I told her, how can you conduct
You
the
can't
Star
conduct.
Spangled Banner with only one? You have to have
You have
two.
to get them in synchronous.
And how can
Yeah.
you make your designs and look
You get-
super
You get the
cool?
propellers going.
Exactly. So I'm sorry. Keep your eyes on your kids though. And arm's length, no sword fighting with sparklers. At least 6 feet. This is COVID protocol / sparkler
That's right.
protocol.
Back up, I've got a sparkler.
Yeah, don't run, throw, or hand a lit sparkler to someone. Well, I know
You
you've
can't
done
expect a
that.
child to light their own
Yeah,
sparkler though.
you light it for them and hand it to them. I know. Loose fitting clothes that can be dangerous. I
Yeah,
can see
because
that.
if you are doing it too
Yeah.
wild.
Flip flops are not recommended, but I know people are gonna wear their flip flops.
I usually just go barefoot.
Yeah.
See, I told you.
Douse them in a bucket of water or sand. When AJ and Camille got married, we had these giant sparklers.
Mhm.
And we had like sand buckets and people just put them down in the sand and
Right.
extinguished them
Right,
right away.
right.
And that was good. And then, yeah, be sure you throw them away. So, also tips for a safe and fun 4th of July. So we're going to go over some of those tips. Mary already hit
covered
probably
number
the
one.
most important one, that a sober adult needs to be present.
Mhm.
Always.
Present.
Yeah, don't aim or throw fireworks. Another person, I mean, everyone's held the Roman candle, right? This is
Or
probably
been
a
chased by an older
terrible,
sibling or
Yeah.
cousin.
terrible idea.
See how fast you
People
can run.
shoot those things at each other. Not supposed to do that. You were, when they're finished, let them sit for about 20 minutes before you go try to clean them up.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. If a firework doesn't go off,
Yes.
leave it be.
Yes.
If it's already been lit, just let it,
Yeah, do not
Let it
walk
rest.
over and try to relight
Right.
it because it could be that it
the
just.
fuse is shorter. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a reason it didn't
Yeah.
light.
Don't put any part of your body directly over a firework device. I don't know, that one seems very
Well, it
common
does,
sense, but
then
yeah,
then
then
we have
people
Gunpowder
lighting
man.
gunpowder, yeah. Wear safety glasses when igniting fireworks. I'm gonna remind my son who likes to do fireworks to wear his safety glasses.
safety. I probably wouldn't wear sunglasses though. That might be difficult to
Yeah.
see at night.
Try to give your spectators plenty of space. Don't carry fireworks in your pocket.
Right.
Yeah, or shoot them from a metal or glass container, like pop bottle rockets
Right.
that were literally shot right out of a glass pop bottle. Don't do that.
Just light one at a time.
Read the instructions. And garden hose and bucket of water. That really
It
is
is,
smart
yeah.
to have that.
Because like if it was your field that instead of the ditch,
Yes.
you would want something close by.
Yeah, we had to have the
Maybe.
pump truck from the Surreal Fire Department come and put out the fire in the ditch.
And then you're the family that stands out there.
We're
It was my kid.
We had like, listen, he was full grown adult when it happened. We had like big blankets and towels that we were putting in my brother's swimming pool and then running, about 100 yards to try to throw those on the fire. And then it just kind of got out of control on us. So it was a great experience. Yeah. In fact, our other son, who was shooting off his own fireworks, sent us a video and he said, how about this finale? And it was like all these things going off,
Mhm.
And so I sent him a video of the fire and I said, how about this finale?
I got something better.
Yeah. We can laugh about it now because
Yeah.
it didn't damage anything.
No one was hurt.
terribly. Yeah, no one was injured. But at any rate, follow safety precautions, be sensible, pay attention to little kids who are out there. Little kids can just
Mhm.
so
They get
quickly.
fascinated.
Yeah, and they can just like all of a sudden be right there.
Mhm.
And just pay close attention, but have fun. We sure hope
Right.
you guys learned some things today about fireworks. Do we have someone on Zoom with us today?
Stefan.
It's Stefan.
Stefan, hey, I just realized that.
Just saw
It's-
that up
Yeah,
there.
so glad you could be with us. We no, yeah,
It's
they
okay.
our friends behind the camera didn't share with us today, so
They were taking notes.
yeah, they
on
were
what to do, and
on
what
what
not
to
to
do.
do.
So anyway, Stefan, again, thank you. Happy 4th of July.
Happy
We're so
4th.
glad you could join us. Be sure and tune in tomorrow. Brett McLean. He grew up here in Duncan. He is an Egyptologist. He does
Like an
the
Egypt.
coolest, yes. Yeah, I mean, like, they go and take these ancient artifacts out of these digs in Egypt. And anyway, I just think it's so cool. It just goes to show you can grow up in a small town like Duncan and
Go on to.
the world is available to you, literally. So we're going to talk to him and kind of hear how he got from Duncan to Egypt,
Right.
and I'll let him tell us about the cool things that he's doing. he sent me some YouTube videos that are super cool. Anyway, so be sure and join us tomorrow for that. And have a very happy and safe 4th of July. Yeah, I will not be wearing 4th of July apparel for the interview with Mr. McLean tomorrow. So anyway, I guess it's time to say goodbye for today. Stefan, are you going to unmute?
Oh,
hey, there
he
are.
is. Hey, Stefan.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy
Happy
trails.
Trails.